Between Avatar The Lost Adventures and Team Avatar Tales, there is actually quite a few short stories. And today, I'm going to be covering a couple of fun ones. Nothing too serious, nothing too thought-provoking, so just sit back, relax, and let's have some fun. The first story I picked out here is actually a side story, and it takes place right after Mei and Zuko break up. You actually see Mei working at this flower shop, and this guy over here, he wants to buy flowers for somebody special. But after he buys these flowers, Mei actually notices that he's not leaving. He ends up telling Mei that she is actually his special someone, and he tells her, "Do you want to go on a date with me?" In typical Mei fashion, she's not really enthusiastic about this. She says, "Yeah, I'm off work in a couple hours, I'll see you at that noodle shop." Fast forward to their date, and this guy, he's a comedian, he says a joke, but I can't get over Mei's face right here. Why did they draw it like that? It just looks so funny. Now, Mei doesn't want to admit that she smiled, so this guy is like, "I'll tell you a secret if you admit that you smiled." She admits it, and they run off to learn about this secret. Now, I guess the secret is that he works for her dad. Now, her dad is in this underground lair where he pretends to still be governor, and they worship Ozai and want to overthrow Fire Lord Zuko. Now, she has this little argument with her dad in the whole Zuko conflict, but she sees her brother Tom Tom, and she's like, "Alright, I'm just gonna take Tom Tom and get out of here." She just steals her brother. Now, I know it's obviously because a baby shouldn't be in this position, but it's still kind of funny how she just yeets him away. But before she goes, she has this battle with all these benders and just takes them all out by herself. She brings Tom Tom back to the flower shop and then reminisces on an old photo of her and Zuko. Next up to bat is No Benders Allowed, and now this one is actually from The Lost Adventures. I always like these ones from Avatar The Lost Adventures because they're always extra playful. Now, this story starts off with a training session. All the benders are getting on Appa to leave to train together, and of course, right off the bat, we have Zuko leaving this remark being like, "Wouldn't want a couple of you non-benders to get hurt in the crossfire." Now, all these guys are kind of sad that they're being talked to like this. Tio's even like, "Yeah, should I go explode the temple again?" Sokka's like, no, don't do that. But if you look at the face he's making, he clearly has something else in mind. When the benders get back late at night, they're greeted with this big party tent, and you see Sokka purposely lets in Momo just so Aang could see Momo go in there. He makes sure to treat him extra nice too. Now, Aang's all excited. He tries to get in, but Sokka stops him, and he's like, "This is a bender-free zone." Now, you would think Aang wouldn't really care about this, but you can see that in every single frame he keeps looking back. Aang is the Avatar. He's used to being treated pretty well by anyone who isn't in the Fire Nation. Usually his bending can get him out of any situation, but in this one, bending isn't really enough. Now, the non-benders club is playing with this cool toy, and you can just see the look on Aang's face. It's kind of getting to him right now that he can't join in on their activities. Did you see that awesome toy? No. Now, Aang keeps trying to justify why he needs to go in there. He's like, "I never learned how to use a boomerang," and Katara's like, "You can throw rocks with your mind, why does it matter?" Then he's like, "What about the flying toy?" And Zuko's like, "You're an airbender." Then he brings up the cool hats, and then Haru's like, "Aang, you're the Avatar. We have the war to worry about." Now, Aang gets sad, and he's like, "You're right. I guess I don't need to go in there." You would think this would be the very end, but on the very next page, he's over here on his knees, literally begging to join Sokka. And finally, Aang gets in. It's a happy ending, and everybody is here. But I think Aang learned a valuable lesson from all of this. He learned that non-benders need to be treated fairly, and he also learned that sometimes being the Avatar doesn't mean everything, and that your bending is not going to be the solution for everything.